Okay. Well, since we only had a few days, I'm reading a story that I had already written. And it's titled The Easter Bunny. Spring was in the air. The sun was warm and bright. It had been raining the past few days, and Chloe was grateful for the warmth and change in weather. She had been keeping her beautiful eggs warm and safe. They were radiant colors, four pink, 2 blue, and 3 green. She was proud of the work she had put in for creating them. She made sure to find succulent grubs and her favorite spot by the big dead tree. She would stuff herself with so many beetles, worms, and sometimes an unsuspecting caterpillar or grasshopper. After her meal, she would have a well-needed nap. She would find a nice, cool, and shaded hiding place. There were so many on the farm. She found a lovely spot for her little nest out by the grove of trees. It was safe and peaceful, away from the busyness of farm life. Chloe had also made a friend out here. His name was Oster. Oster wasn't the normal friend for a chicken, but she learned a hare wasn't too bad when you needed some companionship while sitting on a nest of eggs. His fluffy tail was odd, but so were his long ears. She was just glad she had been a chicken and not a hare. Her feathers were a beautiful gold, with white brushings here and there. She kept them clean and shimmering. Oster was a wonder to her. He seemed lonely and lost in his own world. Oster was born in a burrow not far off from the farm. He had many brothers and sisters, and at times found them a little too much. He wanted to be on his own and see what the grove had to offer. Oster found joy in seeing Chloe every day as she sat on her eggs. She was a funny-looking bird. Her feathers were so poofy on top of her head, and it made him giggle inside to think she was going to have 9 chicks that looked like her. That would be a sight to see. He did admire her, though. She looked so peaceful sitting and warming her colorful eggs. He wished he could find a purpose like she had. When Oster and Chloe were together, it was comforting to know they had a friend. On the spring day in particular, they were talking about how soon these eggs were going to be hatching. It was any day now. How excited they were to meet each one. In the afternoon, Chloe went to find some food. She found her way to the food scraps from the farmer. Little did she know that the farmer closed the gate. She tried to get out and back to her eggs, but there was no way through. In the grove, Oster had come out of his burrow and wanted to visit with Chloe. She wasn't on her eggs. He thought that was odd. She didn't stay away long if she left. He felt the eggs and they were getting cold. He thought Chloe should be back soon, but she didn't come. He was concerned about the eggs. If they didn't stay warm, they wouldn't survive. It was getting colder with the sun setting. Oster decided he would lay on them to keep them warm. It was a very cool night, and Chloe didn't come back. Oster was glad he decided to keep them warm. He hoped Chloe would come back. The next morning, the sun came up, and Oster was still on those colorful eggs. Mid-morning came, and Oster started to feel one of the eggs start to move. They were hatching. One by one, they cracked and emerged. Chloe finally arrived to find Oster warming her eggs and hatchlings. The gratitude she felt was overwhelming. She thanked Oster for keeping her young alive and safe while she was detained until the farmer had opened the gate. Chloe wasn't the only one who was noticing the grand deed. The goddess Istrit had been watching. She appeared to the creatures. Oster, she said, for her For your great deed, you will have the magical ability to lay a nest of beautiful colored eggs once a year in the spring. You will be known as the Easter Bunny. Oscar was left in shock. Chloe was left with 9 beautiful chicks, and every year Oscar was able to be the Easter Bunny and lay a nest of beautiful colored eggs.